Rowdy Nation TV, welcome back to the channel. Click that like button, subscribe to the channel. Clicking that like button will really help the channel grow. Share the video. For all the people who have subscribed to my channel, I'd like to say thank you once again. Let's get it. U.S. Penitentiary Administrative Maximum, also known as ADX Florence, the ALCATRAZ of the Rockies, and Supermax is a modern super maximum security federal prison located in the foothills of the Rocky Mountains near Florence, Colorado. Now, opened in 1994, the Adx Supermax facility was designed to incarcerate and isolate criminals deemed as being too dangerous for the average prison system. The all-male prison population at Adx Supermax includes inmates who experience chronic disciplinary problems while at other prisons, those who have killed other prisoners and prison guards, gang leaders, high-profile criminals, and organized crime mobsters. It also houses criminals who could pose a threat to national security, including Al-Qaeda and U.S. terrorists and spies. The harsh conditions at Adx Supermax have earned it a place in the Guinness Book of World Records as being one of the most secure prisons in the world. From the prison design to the daily operations, Adx Supermax strives for complete control over all prisoners at all times. Modern sophisticated security and monitoring systems are located inside and along the outside perimeter of the prison grounds. The monolithic design of the facility makes it difficult for those unfamiliar with the facility to navigate inside the structure. Massive guard towers, security cameras, attack dogs, laser technology, remote control door systems, and pressure pads exist inside a 12-foot high razor fence that surrounds the prison grounds. Outside visitors to the Adx Supermax are for the most part unwelcome. When inmates arrive at ADX, they are placed in one of 6 units depending on their criminal history. Operations, privileges, and procedures vary depending on the unit. The inmate population is housed at ADX in 9 different maximum security housing units, which are divided into 6 security levels listed from the most secure and restrictive to the least restrictive. Here's a list of some of the units that they have at Adx Supermax. The Control Unit, the Special Housing Unit, aka the SHU, Range 13, an ultra secure and isolated 4-cell wing of the SHU. Special Security Unit H, a unit for terrorists. Also, we have the General Population Units, Delta, Echo, Fox, and Gulf units. Intermediate Unit, Transitional Units, Joker Unit, and Kilo Unit, which houses prisoners entered in the step-down program, which they can earn their way out of ADX. The unit we're going to be doing our story about today is Special Housing Unit, Unit H, which is known for terrorists, aka Bombers Row. Depending on which unit they are in, prisoners spend at least 20 and as many as 24 hours per day locked alone in their cells. The cells measure 7 by 12 feet and have solid walls that prevent prisoners from viewing the interiors of adjacent cells or having direct contact with prisoners in adjacent and other cells. All ADX cells have solid steel doors with a small slot. Cells in all units other than H, Joker, and Kilo units also have an interior barred wall with a sliding door, which together with the exterior door forms like a sally port in each cell. Now, from my understanding, when you have a sally port, that's like 2 doors that these guys are locked behind. You have one door that you go in, the guards go in that door, and then before they can get to the prisoner, there's another door that the prisoners are behind. So these guys are locked down like no other prison in the world. I believe that's why they earned the title in the Guinness Book of World Records. Needless to say that, you know, they don't have any contact with any of the other prisoners. You can't even talk to another prisoner. You know, you can't pass a kite. You can't do none of that in these units right here. Now, Bombers Row houses 4 notable terrorists, 3 of whom are domestic terrorists. And I'm going to add one more, starting with Richard Reed, the shoe bomber. Now, he actually didn't get a chance to blow up his shoe on the plane, but he also resides at Bombers Row. We also have Terry Nichols, Ramsey Youssef, Eric Rudolph, and Ted Kaczynski. So we're going to get into their stories because these are some of the most notable terrorists and bombers that we have at ADX Supermax. The Unabomber is a nickname given to American domestic terrorist Ted Kaczynski, who conducted a 17-year series of attacks using mail bombs to target academics, business executives, and others. The Unabomber bombing campaign, which killed 3 people and injured 23, started in late 1970s and continued until Kaczynski was caught in 1996, following a nationwide manhunt led by the Federal Bureau of Investigations. His capture marked the end of the FBI's longest and most expensive manhunt. Kaczynski, who lived as a recluse in the remote cabin without electricity or running water outside Lincoln, Montana since 1971, famously authored a 35,000-word manifesto entitled Industrial Society and Its Future. Now, that 17-year bombing campaign is what got him a spot at ADX Florence, the most secure prison, like I said before, the most secure prison in the world, which is earned them a spot in the Guinness Book of World Records. On the morning of April 19th, 1995, an ex-Army soldier and security guard named Timothy McVeigh parked a rented Ryder truck in front of the Alfred P. Murrah Federal Building in downtown Oklahoma City. He was about to commit mass murder. Inside the vehicle was a powerful bomb made out of a deadly cocktail of agricultural fertilizer, diesel fuel, and other chemicals. McVeigh got out, locked the door, and headed towards his getaway car. He ignited one time fuse and then another. At precisely 9:02 a.m., the bomb exploded. Within moments, the surrounding area looked like a war zone. A third of the building had been reduced to rubble, with many floors flattened like pancakes. Dozens of the cars were incinerated, and more than 300 nearby buildings were damaged or destroyed. The human toll was still more devastating. 168 people lost their lives, including 19 children, with several hundred more injured. It was the worst act of homegrown terrorism in the nation's history. The FBI was determined to find out who committed this horrific act of homegrown domestic terrorism. It didn't take long. On April 20th, the rear axle of the Ryder truck was located, which yielded a vehicle identification number that was traced to a body shop in Junction City, Kansas. Employees at the shop helped the FBI quickly put together a composite drawing of the man who had rented the van. Agents showed the drawing around town, and local hotel employees supplied a name, Timothy McVeigh. From there, the evidence began adding up. Agents found traces of the chemicals used in the explosion on McVeigh's clothes and a business card on which McVeigh had suspiciously scribbled TNT at $5 a stick. Need more. They learned about McVeigh's extremist ideologies and his anger over the events at Waco 2 years earlier. They discovered that a friend of McVeigh's named Terry Nichols helped build the bomb, and another man named Michael Fortier was aware of the bomb plot. The bombing was quickly solved. McVeigh was convicted of federal conspiracy and murder charges in the bombing and was executed on June 11, 2001. Bombing conspirator Terry Nichols has been meeting with the FBI and has revealed additional details about his involvement in the 1995 attack that destroyed the Oklahoma City Federal Building. Nichols is serving life in prison on federal and state convictions for the bombing that killed 168 people. Acknowledged that he helped Timothy McVeigh acquire ammonium nitrate fertilizer and racing fuel that were combined to make the explosive and help assemble the bomb components. Terry Nichols is currently serving a life sentence at Adx Supermax Federal Penitentiary in Florence, Colorado. Terry Nichols is currently serving a life sentence at Adx Supermax Federal Penitentiary in Florence, Colorado. Click that like button, subscribe to the channel. I hope you guys enjoyed the first part of this series on Bombers Row. We'll definitely be coming back with the second part with the World Trade Center bomber, Ramzi Yousef. Some of you people might not know, but the World Trade Center was hit twice. The first time it was hit, it was in the 90s. Also, we will be covering the Atlanta Olympic bomber, Eric Rudolph. And so this is Rowdy Nation TV. Click that like button, subscribe to the channel. We out.